Long title. And this one, guys, I'm going to tell you guys right now, it's going to pull on your heartstrings a little bit. So brace your emotions.
I got you.
Okay?
Okay.
Am I the asshole for asking my best friend of 20 years to pay back a $7,000 loan now, even though he says he needs more time, but the money was supposed to be for taking my parents to Mecca for Umrah? That's just the title, guys.
That's just, my God.
Already right there. Yeah, tough, right?
Okay.
Sheesh. Okay. I, male 34, have been best friends with Samir, male 35, since we were kids. We grew up together. We were involved in each other's weddings and talk almost every day. We're basically family. He's married with 4 kids and lives in the same city as me. I'm single now, no kids, but I have a stable job in IT that's treated me very well the last few years. About 8 months ago, Samir lost his job during company layoffs. It hit him very hard, emotionally and financially. His wife works part-time, and they are scrambling to keep things afloat. School was about to start, and he asked me if I could loan him $7,000 to help cover back-to-school expenses, rent, groceries, just to get through his rough patch. It wasn't pocket change, but I had it set aside in a fund for something very important to me, a trip to take my parents to Mecca for Umrah. They were getting older and dreamed of their whole lives going. I wanted to do it for them while they were still healthy enough to walk it comfortably. But Samir was my family as well, and his situation felt urgent. So I told him okay, as long as he could pay it back by spring, because I'd need to start booking flights and hotels by early summer. He agreed without hesitation, promised me in writing that he'd have it back before then. Now it's been 8 months, and I reached out to ask about repayment, respectfully. He got quiet. A couple days later, he admitted that he still can't pay me back and asked for an extension. Maybe by the end of the year, he said. He said he just got a new job and he was still tight with bills and the kids. I told him I couldn't wait that long. I needed to start locking in the Umrah trip soon, or the costs are going to spike up and the whole thing might not happen. I reminded him that this wasn't just travel money. It was something deeply spiritual and important to me and my parents. He hit me with, "You don't have a family to feed, and you live alone, so you should be able to afford to wait. I cannot."
Damn.
That felt unfair. Now some of our mutual friends think I'm being cold and that I should give him time because he has mouths to feed and that I'm quote unquote comfortable. But I sacrificed this trip for him already once, and I feel like I kept my word and he didn't. I'm not asking for full repayment tomorrow. I just want some kind of repayment plan. But now I'm the bad guy? So, am I the asshole for asking for the money back now, even though I know he's still struggling, because I want to make this Umrah trip happen before my parents are too old?
That's tough.
Tough one, right, guys?
Tough one.
Like on one hand, like they're both realistic life scenarios, you know, like these happen all the time to people, you know? But when you're put in these situations, like I feel for this Samir guy, man. I feel for him because like he's been put in a box. His manhood and everything has been challenged, right, for his family immediately. And he's had to go and ask his friend for support financially. So it's already tough to do that as is.
Yeah.
Not having to have enough to pay it back, it's probably putting him in a whole nother world of like grief, right? So I understand his perspective. On the other side too, right? The person writing the story, if I'm this guy, right? I've been saving for X amount of years. I don't even know how long he said he was saving for. I don't think it was mentioned in the story, but significant amount of time, I assume, right? And I'm taking my parents who are getting older to Umrah. That's going to be on my mind more than anything. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because of their age, you know, because of the position I'm in, you know, you don't know how much longer you have with your parents at that point. So I'm going to lean towards the person in the story who's writing the story, because that's an immediate, like, as a friend, if I loan you money and you come up on hard times, I feel like the best thing for you to do to me is to be open and communicate that at the time that it happens, you know? Okay. You should not wait till it's over the amount of time or the amount of time that we came up with together for you to tell me that there's been a bump in the road, you know? Keep me involved, keep me, you know, in the loop. And then maybe I could even help guide you in certain ways. You know, if you keep me, like, if we have an open communication or open dialogue about this, then maybe I can help in certain ways. But if you keep me in the dark and then later on when it comes time for me to collect from you, you're giving me this story, this like, then it's a matter of my problems versus yours. And we don't want it to get to that, you know?
Mm.
So I feel like the communication aspect in this would have been more, you know, it should have been there.
Yeah.
And I think that was lost. So that's why I more so lean towards the person writing the story in this.
Yeah.
But what do you guys think?
You know, I'm this may come left field for you.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm left-handed, you know.
Don't
worry, bro.
Left field. But I'm on the side with the guy with the kids.
Samir?
Yeah. That's his name, right?
Team Samir?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know why though? Okay, let me tell you. When you loan somebody money, okay? Personally for me, when I loan somebody money, I don't expect it back. You know what I mean? Like, if it comes back, qadr of Allah, it is thank you for giving this back to me, but I give people money with the intention of this may not come back to me, you know? So for you to bank so much on a situation that doesn't look that great, he has 3 kids.
Four kids.
4 kids. He's taking care of a household. He lost his job. If he's coming to you, he's down in the dumps, okay? You think in 7 months he can get his life back on track?
But who's to say, how do you know if your parents have 7 months left on this
That's
earth?
fair, but that's a decision that you made when you loaned him the money. That's your okay. That was your approval. That is your decision. That is your backfall. You know what I mean? You agreed to that. So don't blame another man for a decision that you made because you wanted to support him. It's great that you wanted to support him. But you can't just be here knowing the situation that he's in and be like, he should have gave it back to me. Like, realistically, how can you get back on your feet in 7 months?
I understand like the severity of like a loan when it comes to like a bank and stuff like that. They even charge interest, which is wild
Sure,
to me. You know,
okay.
like that's like a sealed, signed, delivered contract, right?
Okay.
But I feel like amongst friends, even there should still be the, you know, like the, what's the word for it? But like the honor of a contract like that. You know, like if you're not going to honor, that's why I said before, like if you're not in the position to be able to honor the commitment you made, at least give me the heads up. You know, give me some sort of, you know, because I feel like in this situation, this person who's writing the story dipped out of his emergency fund, if anything. You know, like I don't think he was able to afford the help he was able to give his friend, but he said it was urgent and it needed to happen, right? So I don't think it was in the mindset of I could lose this money and still be all right.
Okay.
It was more so of this is money that's sitting here for a specific reason, and it's more necessary for this person who I consider family to have it now, right? So that money was purposeful, you know, and that purpose, I don't feel like diminishing that purpose for the sake of somebody else's problems, especially since they weren't honoring the commitment they made to you in the first place. I don't think that they deserve, their feelings deserve
There's
preference.
probably a reason why he chose to go to his friend and not a bank, right?
Yeah.
It's probably the humanity element to it, where it's like there's no interest and this person understands that if I can't commit to it, possibility that they'll give me an extension. Compared to if you go to bank, they're not going to give you anything. They're probably going to be like, if not, we'll give you more interest, you know? He could have went the route of the bank, but he chose to come to his friend knowing that there would be compassion.
I think in this situation, if I was Samir, I would go and seek another loan to help pay back my friend so I can help fix his problem because I caused a mess for him now. And then I will fix whatever issues I got with interest or fees or whatever. Like, because like, go ahead.
Sorry, you finish up?
No, that's basically what I was going to say. If I was, I put the more burden on the person who didn't honor their commitment.
The only thing about that is now you're digging 2 holes to fix one.
Yeah,
So
but that's
one. You're taking a shovel, taking one.
But then again, it goes back to you dug your own grave, right?
Yeah.
But that's the unfortunate position of being in someone's support system. You want to lean on people, and if you're drowning, unfortunately, as much as the communication point is solid, some things don't come to your mind when you're looking at a bunch of mouths to feed in your household. The empathetic side of you saying, oh, my friend's still waiting on me, may not come to you right away.
That's a problem, though.
Yo, I got to fix day to day.
That's problematic.
It is problematic, but it is.
And not to mention, too, there's 24 hours in the day. You have to take a moment of your time to dedicate to an action plan, a rescue plan, or a recourse, some kind of plan to get yourself out of it. It can't just be, we're just going to live for the moment every day.
As parents, you're consistently putting out fires, especially with 4 kids, no job. And especially if this was not said in the story, but if they're still strapped for money after he got a job, that means his job was not paying as much as the last job was.
Could be.
So now you're trying to put out fires daily.
Yeah.
Trying to keep up with life and try to keep up with your children and everything that comes with having a family.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, you have this burden, and you don't feel right that the fact that you owe your friend money, and you're still, because day to day you could die, and that money's still out.
Yeah.
So day to day you're under that pressure. So you're gonna say things that you shouldn't have said, and you're gonna act in a manner you shouldn't have, because you're trying to have your family survive.
But does that make it right?
Situation to be in. It may not right, but it is life, and it is real life.
So what is the point you're trying to make?
I'm saying I understand the fact that he's under this pressure, and everything he did may not be right, but it unfortunately is the position he's in.
Yeah.
So his friend has to be a bit more understanding and say, yo, I may have to extend this for a little while because of the position and the pressure he's in.
I agree. Yeah. I agree with that.
I disagree, man. I feel like you got to put out your fires that you're setting. Especially if I'm Samir, like I said, my next action here would be, okay, now I got to pay back my homie. I'm going to find this change, give it to him somewhere, and then deal with the repercussions of that later. Yeah. Because I'm not going to be the one, like, God forbid, if one of his parents passed away in the next couple of months and he wasn't able to take them to Umrah because of me, I'm going to have to live with that forever. And I don't want that. Mm-hmm. I don't want that relationship severed. I don't want his relationship with his parents to be severed or, like, you know, missing something that he could have given them because of me. You know, so to avoid the worst case scenario, I'm going to immediately put out this fire right now if I'm Samir. That's how I look at the scenario.
There's no accountability on the loaner side.
Why not?
Because you gave that money under the impression that you would actually get the money back.
Yeah.
Do you realistically, let's put real life into this.
Yeah.
Man is taking care of all his kids. Let's say he has $0, just received $7,000 from you, no job. Do you realistically think, even if he was to get money in the 6-month mark, okay, that $7K would magically just jump into your bank account?
Well, I assume they had a conversation about it, and they literally put it in writing.
It's fine if it's in a conversation, but like,
so then
put a real element to it.
But you can't.
It's not realistic.
But on the flip side of that, how can you realistically come to your friend asking for a quote unquote loan when you know you can't pay it back? Why would you?
You hope for the best.
Then you got to be honest about that. You have to be honest and tell him I won't be able to pay this back.
Which is fair, yeah.
In the time that we're given, you have to give him. You have to give him honesty there and be like, yo, it might be a year, it might be 2 years. I just don't know, or just give him no timeline. Yeah, you know,
he probably thought he was gonna get a job quicker. He didn't.
Then that's on him.
That's true.
Because if I'm dipping,
on you for giving money.
But if I'm dipping into my funds, right, and I can't necessarily afford to give you this money, and it's out of dire situation we're in,
you could have said no.
I won't say no though.
I
feel like helping
it takes two people to make a decision.
That's true, but like I feel like as a friend, I'm not gonna selfishly say no to you because there's a chance that you might not be able.
But
to
then why are you coming back to me and saying I need I need the money now?
Because my scenario is real. My scenario, my issue is real. My parents are getting older. I do want to take them to Umrah. Anything can happen, Allah Ya'lam, at any point of time. Yeah. And time is not on our side here. Okay. So we have to put out this fire now.
Let's make another loan. Let's say I'll bring a loan, like the guy who is, who the loaner can take out a loan, pay what he needs to pay in order to buy tickets for his mother and father.
And then get the interest.
And then later he will, this party, the loanee, will just pay back everything. Like there's ways to go about it.
That is an immediate action.
There's ways to go about it. But what I'm saying is if you're giving money with the intention that it should come back during that set, that's not the case.
I think there's a significant there's a significant portion of your immediate income that if you're loaning out, you should expect back.
Bro, if you loan money out, you shouldn't expect it back.
If I loan you money I can't afford, bro, I have to expect it back. That's just the real life scenario.
You could have simply been like, I could only afford to give you out of the 7 or whatever thousand, 2,000. That's all I got, bro.
That's a key point. Yeah,
that's
all I got.
That's fair.
Then you gotta, if he doesn't you gotta eat that. If he doesn't give it back to you,
that's
compared
fair.
to
I do agree with
you
that.
Funding into going into like savings of like something.
I do agree with that. I'm not gonna lie.
That's your decision.
If I was the person that was handing out the money and I knew that, okay, come down the line, if I can't get this back, it's gonna hurt me real bad, which is the scenario I'm in, I probably wouldn't have given out that much change.
Like I love,
but since I
love
did
the
give
people
out
in my life, fam. But I'm not gonna go into the red for a lot of people, you know.
But I'm not going into the red. If it's your best friend of 20 years, like it's like your brother.
But then there's gonna be 2 people in the red. What are we doing here?
That's what we're here.
You want me to be in the
We're here now. We're here now. We're here now.
No, but for him, at the end of the day, it's a ticket. I get it. It's important. You want to achieve this for your parents. They may not have much left in this world, but at the end of the day, that's more of a luxury. compared to sustainability and basic living. Okay,
Survival, yeah.
you know, this
Facts.
guy's trying to survive. This guy is trying to survive.
Mhm.
He's trying to do for his family, but provide them the basic necessities. Okay,
Mhm.
you're trying to buy tickets so you can do something like achieve a dream. A little different here. One is right here trying to provide food on the table. One is right here trying to provide hotels in Mecca. Okay?
Yeah.
You're gonna live regardless.
Mhm.
This guy here might be thrown out. You know? The only thing I will say that I disagree with is I don't like when he threw in his face that you don't have anybody to provide for. You don't need this money.
You can wait.
Watch your mouth.
Yeah.
Don't
Don't talk to me like
that's
that.
my money. I don't care how you see it, no matter how I make it. At the end of the day, that is my money. I decide how I want to do with my money. You, just because you're in a dire situation, you don't get to tell me how I should use my money.
Mhm.
End of discussion. Out of the kindness of my heart, I gave you a loan that put me in the red.
Mhm.
I don't need you to throw in my face what I could or could not have done with my money just because you failed. I'm supporting you. I'm giving you a lifeline.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So I don't need you to throw stuff in my face out of kindness of my heart for what I did for you. Shut up. Give me a plan. If we can't agree on a plan, think of another plan. Don't tell me what you think I should not do, what I shouldn't do.
Got
You
it.
feel me?
Mhm.
That's the only thing I don't agree with on the other side. But I'm still on his side though, you know, but he could have went about it a different way to be more respectful because this guy is the reason that your family is doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
Fair enough. 100% fair. And I do agree that both sides here are to blame in some
Yeah,
degree.
totally.
I think
Yeah.
both sides here are to blame in some degree. The reason why I'm siding more with the person who's writing the story is because his timeline is unexpected, right? I feel like his time is less on his side
Yeah.
than the person who's writing the story,
Yeah.
or the person or Samir in the story, right?
Yeah.
So in that sense, I feel like worst case scenario, things could be much worse for that person, right? Long term than it could be for the person with the family. Even though I know that there's a dire situation. He has family, he has mouths to feed, and bills, expenses, all that stuff happen. But there's so many instances of that scenario in the world that's happening over and over again. People life's a roller coaster, bro. There's ups, downs. You're gonna go through it. Money's gonna come, money's gonna go. But your parents are not gonna be there forever.
I agree.
Right? So in that sense, just to avoid worst case scenario, I have to give more onus on the person Samir because he didn't honor his commitment. And I if I was him, I would try to immediately, rectify the issue with my friend who helped me out, gave me a lifeline, rather than, kind of drag it on as far as and saying the stuff that he's saying too. Like I would never take that course of action ever. I would automatically just take my L. Both sides of the story I feel like need to cut their losses a little bit here.
Yeah.
But at the same time too, like I think the person who got themselves in the issue first needs to, take accountability before anything.
Okay.
That's just my two
I have a
cents.
question for you both.
Go ahead.
Let's say that you both lost your job, okay? And you had a family to take care of, and you reached out to your friend, okay? And said, I need X amount of money. What type of payment plan would you put in place in order to be like, this is how much, I'll give you this much, I'll give you this much? Or would you even go that route in the first place? Would you even tell a friend, would you be comfortable receiving a loan from a friend during that time? How would you go about that situation?
I don't necessarily like loans in general
Okay.
with friends or family, more or less with friends, right? I'd much rather lean on my immediate family, like my actual family members for support financially like that. And when stuff happens, I understand that I have to be a beacon of support too for my siblings and whatnot, my family members. But I just don't like racking up debts, man, at all. That's the worst. Like, if I was in that scenario, I'd much rather ask my family. And if they can't help me out, head it to the bank.
Loan?
Interest and on.
You wouldn't feel comfortable asking a close friend?
For a significant amount of money? No.
Let's say 5,000.
Hell no. Hell no. God forbid. Never.
So you go immediate family, bank.
Bank.
Okay. How about you?
I would, like, I've taken loans, and to this day I get loans and I give loans and things like that. You got to treat loans like investments. If that money has to be something that you can give away without being hurt by it. So I would ask for a portion If it's 5 Gs, I'm asking like for a grand, 1,500.
Yeah, I like that compromise. That's,
Yeah,
that's,
and
that's much
try to
more.
get it from as I can from outside, from somewhere else, and try to figure it out.
Mhm.
Because 5 grand on everybody, a wealthy or a poor, that's a big hole you're digging, and that's something that you may not be able to come out of for a long time.
Right.
So you got to come up with as you stated, come up with a plan for the small portion you borrow. Try to come up with a little plan from there and try to go build out.
And another thing too is like I would not rule out downsizing. Like, you know, you live in a 2-bedroom apartment, maybe you got to move into a 1-bedroom apartment. You know, like downsizing is an option to cut costs here and there. Like there's little plans, little courses of action you can take to kind of help your situation financially. But when it comes to like immediate support, I'd rather not have to lean on somebody who I consider a friend and kind of, you know, demolish that relationship. So
Fair
yeah,
enough.
I'm just not with it.
Okay, so back to the story.
Yeah.
Who do you think is in the wrong?
I think the writer is in the wrong because, as I think you stated it, you gave something that you can't recover from, and that's the thing. You gotta be reasonable and be real with people. That I can give you a grand or I can give you 2 grand because you know that's something you can over the 6 months that he gave him
7
for the loan?
months. 7 months.
7 months.
Yeah.
You can make a grand or 2 grand back in 7 months. You cannot probably make a grand back in 7 grand in 7 months. That's not probably something you can put in your savings. So give something that you can recover, and then whatever he gives you back is a bonus. So that's why I say the loaner is the asshole.
Okay. I'm going to take it the other route. I'm going to say the person Samir is the asshole because he just tarnished his relation. Even though I do feel like the story writer should cut his losses and should never have given out more than he could afford. I agree that should be addressed. In that sense, he is the asshole too. But I think since that's already came and went, we're in the position now here where we got 2 issues, and both issues were caused by one immediate problem, which was Samir's issue with finances, you know, and struggle with life and stuff like that. So I feel like, you know, as a man, you got to get your shit together, and you cannot lean on people for that much support financially as an adult. You know, you got to get it how you live. Simple
Get how you live?
Get how you live.
So if I just hear the story on a base level, I think the loaner Samir is the asshole.
Well, he's the receiver.
Samir is the
the person who received it was the asshole, because I don't like. First, I think it's a crazy amount to ask for. I don't like the way he responded after the fact.
That's another thing too. It's a key thing. Yeah.
I don't like what you did here.
That's why I have a hard time.
When I put logic into it, I'm like, how did the person who loaned the money expect that to come? You know, and then you put your whole dreams and aspirations on receiving this money back. That's a you problem, buddy. You know, I understand that you want to do that, and it's beautiful. Everybody wants to take their parents there, but that's something that you did. You be accountable for your own actions, and you know.
I think both niggas had to go and take out a loan at this point, man.
Yeah, they both got.
Both niggas got to take out a loan. One nigga got to take out a loan to go to Umrah. The other nigga got to take out a loan to pay for the Umrah, bro. That's it. The bank's eating here. No one's eating but the bank.
I agree.
That's the part I forgot. Like you bring up you got to be gracious in whatever you're doing. If you're taking a loan for somebody and you're giving attitude right back,
come on, bro.
So what type of position are you putting your best friend in?
Mm-hmm.
20 years.
20 years, yo.
Like, is that how you're gonna talk to?
How are you being disrespectful?
Exactly. You shouldn't talk to your kids like that, but you're gonna talk to another grown man.
That's the part that just irks me. I'm not gonna lie. I hate having to, I don't like having to support that, but I have to.
Or what?
He's right. He doesn't have a family. He lives alone.
But you don't.
He has no right to say that. He has no right to say that, but it is facts.
In the moral ground, he's in the moral high ground. The person that loaned you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like in terms of the context of the moral high ground, yes, very, very wrong.
And he gave you 3 extra months or 2.
As a third person perspective, it is facts.
It is facts, but you don't need to bring that up.
That's what I'm saying. That's the issue here. It's like right message, wrong messenger. You know,
that's his Dukes that should say that. Hey, you don't have kids, give him some extra time. You're not the one to be saying that. Apologize. That's it. That's all you can do. You should be saying.
And and the guy's not asking for much too. He's asking for a repayment plan. He's not asking. He said, "I'm not asking for it all back tomorrow." He said, "Just come up with a plan for me," and that's the bare minimum, you know. Crazy. So in that sense, I'm gonna still stick with my original scenario here, or the initial point. I think that Samir's the asshole, and they're both assholes, but I think Samir is more the asshole.
Gotcha.
Samir's definitely. After that, I forgot about that point. Samir's definitely more bad.
Mm.
Right now.
Fair enough.